LV here, and I have an eBay sales monthly numbers video for you today. But first, I wanted to share a couple tips, one for sports cards fans and one for Pokemon fans. So you guys know I never really give buy advice, especially related to opening product, but these just seem way too cheap right now. I personally think it's a good buy right now while you can still get them for retail price. They are these 2024 Football Prizm $14.99 value packs. You can still get them on the Target website for $14.99 and buy quantity 3 at a time, and that gives you free shipping too. I recommend buying these value packs over the blaster boxes because you can pretty much get the same amount of cards and hits and that 1 silver per, and it's under half the price of the $35 blaster box. And why do I like this buy? It's because of this quarterback rookie class. You know, right now, Jaden Daniels, Prizms are just going to the moon, and you still have the chance to get Bo Nix, McCarthy, Caleb, Penix, May, along with all the amazing wide receivers, and Bowers, the amazing tight end. So it's definitely at least worth checking out. I think it might be a good keep, sealed, hold investment, or open and get the key cards graded through PSA. Get those Jaden Daniels graded. The next tip is the Pokemon tip. So as you all know, PSA raised their grading fees, which I'm totally fine with, by the way, because eventually that will help the PSA backlog and the turnaround times. But they increased Pokemon from $15 to $17 per card. I think that's a big difference in my opinion. That's $2 per card, and that adds up. But here's the surprising tip. You know how you can submit cards to GameStop now for grading? Well, they are still only charging $15.99 per card to submit Pokemon cards to PSA through them. You don't even need to be a PSA member, so no $150 PSA membership fee. Plus, GameStop takes care of all the shipping and headache and all the submission forms and everything. So you save all that money you would have paid shipping your cards to PSA and what you paid to have the cards returned back to you from PSA. And I think this isn't even the kicker. I talked to the GameStop employee, and they are seeing faster turnaround times for cards submitted through them. He said like 3 to 4 weeks on average that I'd probably get the cards back. If that's true, that's absolutely incredible. It's kind of hard to believe because I currently have a Pokemon order sitting at PSA I submitted myself. No joke. Arrived November 4th, part of an October special that is still in research and ID, not even in grading. So I really hope that the employee was telling the truth. So as long as GameStop is around $16, I would think about submitting your mid to lower end Pokemon cards through them. I wouldn't recommend submitting your really high end cards through them because I have trust issues. I just personally wouldn't trust GameStop with high end cards, but I did just submit 17 cards with them today, kind of mid to lower level. And the process was very interesting. So I think when I get the cards back, I may make a video about the whole process. Okay, let's finally get into my sales. This is where I break down my sale numbers over the last 31 days. You compare and contrast. We look at the 90-day sales. We look at my profit margins, return on investments, and then we go over what's selling for me. I like these videos because I think it can give people a look at the current state of the sports card market. And it's a complete, transparent look at the numbers and sales data of a full-time card guy. How much money I am truly making and how much I have invested into that. Plus, if you're like me, you watch a lot of YouTube content and you are intrigued what these dudes that are doing sports cards full-time are actually making, how they're actually surviving money-wise. All right, here is my 90-day eBay sales total. I'm looking at around $43,280 gross in sales, which was down slightly at 2.2% compared to this exact time period last year. So slightly concerning, but there are reasons for this that I will discuss shortly. It looks like I'm looking at $32,815 net and a whopping almost $8,000 taken out in fees to eBay in just that 90-day time period. I'm not stoked about that one. So honestly, these 90-day numbers seem a bit low to me, especially compared to previous quarterly totals, but I think there are definite reasons for this. I think the main reason is the PSA backlog. I think for the past 3 months now, PSA has really slowed down. I'm sure all you guys are aware of that. They take around, I'd say, 60 to 75 days to complete orders now. And you guys know my bread and butter for all these years has been buying raw singles and grading them with PSA. So my sales take a hit when turnaround times increase. Plus, it's hard to predict which players will be selling well or which players will tank 2 to 3 months after you submit their cards. Ideally, PSA needs to be around 30 days. I think another reason is the sports card sales are traditionally slow during this time of year. I'd say November through January. You got the holidays, people are busy spending money elsewhere, and the National isn't around the corner. There's no baseball. Most football players' values have plummeted because of poor performance, and basketball is in that long, boring stretch until you eventually hit the trade deadline and playoffs, which will perk up that market a little bit. All right, so now let's look at my last 31 days sales numbers, and I will dive deeper into those numbers. It looks like I made $15,535 in gross sales, and that looks like it's up 15% compared to this exact time period last year, so that's encouraging. Looks like I'm around $11,815 net, and a total of 228 items sold at an average of around $68 per item. But this is where it gets very interesting. Of my sales over this past 31 days, 47% have been Pokemon sales. Nearly 50% of my sales. Yes, you heard me right. And I'm a sports card guy through and through. So 107 out of the 228 items sold were Pokemon cards. And even more mind-boggling, Pokemon only comprises of 8% of my eBay store inventory. So that means that 8% is making up nearly 50% of my sales. That's just insane to me. So now you know why I'm focusing a little more energy on Pokemon for the time being. And I'd like to thank my 9-year-old son for all of this. He indirectly helped about 8 to 10 months ago when he got very, very into Pokemon cards. I figured it would be a fun sharing, bonding adventure we could share together. So I jumped onto Pokemon too. And you know, I have a decent grading eye. So I perfected my grading of modern Pokemon cards over these months. And luckily, modern Pokemon cards have boomed over the past 3 to 5 months, like a mini sports card COVID level boom. And thanks to getting into Pokemon when I did, I get to experience a little bit of that boom feeling again. And this time, I can make the smart decision and just sell. And I'm not as attached to Pokemon cards compared to sports cards, so it makes it easier to sell. All right, so back to the numbers. Now what I do and did is add up what I have invested into each card I sold during this 31-day time period, this last 31 days. And from that, we can calculate my profit margin, return on investment. So I added them up, and that number came to $7,782. Now I take my net sales number, and that was $11,815, and we can calculate all the important numbers from that. Looks like I had a 33% net profit margin. My goal is always 50%, so it didn't hit that mark, but that's okay. And it looks like my return on investment was around 50%, so not bad there. Net profit was close to $4,000 for the past 31 days. Not thrilled with that number, but these are okay, especially considering we are in the lean months of the hobby. So overall, I don't think me selling more Pokemon than sports is a bad reflection of how sports cards are doing. I actually think the sports cards market is still chugging along. It's pretty stable, still lots of interest. I think it just shows that I put more time, I put more interest and money invested into Pokemon over these past months rather than sports cards. And I think that's why you haven't been seeing my usual DC Sports 87 pickup vids lately. Because my purchases mainly have been Pokemon. I got to keep riding that wave a little bit. But you will be happy to know I've gotten to the point where I can use these Pokemon profits to start heavily buying sports cards again. So expect DC Sports pickup videos again very soon. All right, now the fun part. I like to tell you which card I sold in these past 31 days yielded the highest percent increase sale. And that card was the 1985 Fleer Nolan Ryan. I submitted myself and got the Gem 10. Looks like I sold it for $250, and I really only paid $1 for it in a collection I bought. And the grading fee was only $16, so that puts me at $17 invested into it. From those numbers, that leaves us a nearly 1,400% increase. Love to see those sales. Also, I'd like to add the single card that made me the most money the past 31 days, and that was the 2016 National Treasures Derrick Henry True RPA Auto PSA 9. I bought it for $600 raw off eBay. The grading fee was $40, and that puts me at, I made around $800 profit on that card alone. And I'm really glad I sold it when I did, because the Ravens lost after that. Thankfully, the card went through eBay authentication, so the buyer can't have buyer's remorse and return the item, thankfully. Okay, now is the time where we quickly scroll through the items that I sold off eBay in the last 31 days, so you can kind of get a feel for what type of cards are selling well at the present time. Here we go. All right, looks like the first sale was this Russell Westbrook out of 10 gold foil. I think I sold it for around 38. Even though it says 41.49, I usually probably sold it for $3 or $4 cheaper. I accepted it all for lower than that. We got some Pokemon. We got some Frank Thomas. That one should have been graded higher. Remember that when I submitted it. More Pokemon. We got some Akili Smith. There's some Oregon Duck fan out there probably. I had about 3 of them. He bought all 3 for $5 each. Pokemon, we got Dennis Rodman. That's probably the only grading fee into that one. Nice sale there. Some Freddie Freeman. That one probably should have been a 10. And these Mike Evans, they were numbered out of 14. They're hand-numbered. Mini Magicians, the rookie year. I bought probably 5 years ago. Probably bought 4 of them on ComC for like $10 each. Ended up selling them for around $50-$60. Pretty good sales there. The Harrison Smith I sold for $100. Again, probably only $1 invested into that one, plus grading fee, so nice sale there. He'll be a future Hall of Famer. Allen Iverson, I think I sold that one for around $42. Some Chris Carter, another undergrade one. For some reason got a 7. I just sold it for $5. I don't really care. Some more Pokemon. We got a Corey Maggette. All right, so this one's all impressive and embarrassing at the same time. I actually had this Corey Maggette card in my store for like 10 years, and it never sold. I legit had a card sit in my store for 10 years. I just really like the card. I can't believe it took so long to sell. It's numbered out of 100. It's a gold script. Corey Maggette rookie. PSA 10. And I actually have 2 of them. I have one more still available in my store. I think I sold it for around $40, this one. Anyway, some Chauncey. I think I sold that one for around $55. Some more Pico, Pokemon. We got a Larry Allen, sold for around $28. This Charizard promo, I was buying that for like $25. Sold it for around $45. The Eli Manning, future Hall of Famer, if not this year. I think I paid $140 maybe. Sold it for around that, $228. It's pretty nice. Tony Gwynn die cut. The Darryl Strawberry is a really cool card. Sad to see that one go, but again, I was probably bought it raw for $15, graded it for $15, so I'm into it $30 or $40, and sold it for, I sold it for around $140. Some Yao Ming, sold that for around $52. Some Jordan, some Scoot Henderson. Actually lost money on that Scoot card. I think I bought it raw for $15, got it graded, and got a 9. Should have been a 10. Some more Pokemon. More Pokemon there. Some vintage. Some 57. I think I sold that one for around $47. Some more Pokemon. The Reggie White, I actually bought that for $30 on ComC. And that's a steal because on ComC I'm just using store credit because I sell around 2,000 items on their listings currently. And yeah, whatever I make, I just buy sports cards and then sell them on eBay with my credit, which is nice. So that was a good deal on the Reggie White. Some more Pokemons. So now you get to see the full extent of how much Pokemon I am selling. The Glaceon, this is a really cool card. This out of Crown Zenith. I bought that on ComC for $80. And that wasn't that long ago. And now they sell for around $130. I think I sold it for $130. Some Keenan Allen, numbered out of 10. I bought that for $16, already graded. I remember that. The Charizard, I'm only into that, probably $45 because I got the 10. I graded that one myself. The Deshaun Jackson Gold, numbered 1 out of 50. This is a cool card. I sold it for $72. And finally, the Old Maid Michael Jordan card. If you saw my SGC reveal, I couldn't believe the grader gave it a 9 because it had the biggest fisheye. You can see it even from here on the left side. It's big white fisheye. I couldn't believe he gave it a 9. Anyway, the price reflected that because a PSA 9 sells for like $325 for that card. So, and I ended up selling it for like $152. I just didn't care. I still made profit. I was probably into it $70-$80. So we got some Lamar. And we got more Pokemon. This Jordan's popping up because one person bought it and then immediately asked for a refund. So I just relisted it, and luckily it sold the next week or a couple days later. Some more Charizard, some more Pokemon. This LeBron's an interesting one. I probably lost $150 on it, but I was just done with the card. I was frustrated with it. I bought it high, thinking it would be a crack and get a PSA 10, but it didn't work out that way. I bought it as a BGS 9.5 for like $740, and PSA graded it a 9. So there you go. I lost money there, and then I decided to snap it and go with SGC, and I got a 9.5. So recouped a little bit and got 660 out of it. So not too bad. Some Nelly Fox, some vintage, some more Pokemon. Amari Stoudemire, numbered out of 8. That was a cool card. I sold that for around $55. There's a Yao Ming Refractor. You know I love that set, 2003. More Glaceon that sold. And there's that Derrick Henry sale. I ended up selling for $1,500. Offer accepted. That's a really tough card to get a mint 9 on. I'm sad to see it go, but I think I sold at the market high, which is nice. That's always a good thing because, during the off season, maybe I can rebuy that card back at, not necessarily graded a PSA 9, but maybe I can buy that card back at $600 raw and try again. So nice one there. Matt Ryan, Sandberg rookie, more Derrick Henry sold, which is nice. Pokemon, Harold Carmichael, that was an undergrade. Whenever I see a Marvel Masterpiece sell, I'm very thankful because I'm into them nothing. I found a whole shoebox full in a collection I bought like 15 years ago. They're really cool cards. I graded a lot of them, and a lot of them graded 10, so that's just all profit right there. Some more Pokemons. Calvin Murphy, vintage. Josh Allen. Someone made a good buy there. This card market is only going up, heating up. Karl Anthony Towns, more Charizard. The Shaq, I'm really sad to see that one go, but the profit was too great. I think I bought it at a show for $10-$15 raw, graded it, got a 10, then sold it for around $220, I believe, $225, so nice profit there. More Pokemon, some vintage. Jokic right there. The Blue X-Fractor, Bonzi Wells. Someone must be collecting that set. It sold quickly for like $65 on that one. I'll take it. The Radmonovic, that was a good, I'm probably only into a grading fee, $15-$20. Sold that one pretty quick too. Tyron, more Pokemon, the LeBron. I think they ended up sending that card back. Refunds are frustrating. They really are. Because a lot of times they just say, oh, just didn't want it anymore. Okay, great. More Pokemon. Jarrett Allen, having a great year for the Cavs. His stuff's selling a little bit. Man, during the COVID boom, Jarrett Allen stuff was crazy. More Pokemon. You see all the Pokemon. So, some older Jordan. I love that Winter Stays Hollow Prizm Kobe. It's a really cool card. I felt that one was undergraded. It was so clean. Eric Kendricks, bought that for around 30 raw. Sold it for around 60, I believe. And there's the Nolan Ryan. I accepted a $250 offer. Got a good profit on that one. The Roger Craig, man, that one was a great card. I had a potential 10, but I went ahead and sold it for around 57. The Jamal Mashburn is a cool card. There's more of that red foil. Mike Evans. Some Jason Richardson. I already have one for my set, so I just sold off the extra. Some LeBron, Russell Wilson. Same with Tyson Chandler. I already have that in a PSA 10, I believe, in the gold refractor. Marlon Humphrey. He had a pretty good season for the Ravens. Alakazam for Pokemon. Stranger Things. That's a cool art card. Someone actually hand drew that card. It's a 1-of-1 sketch card. That's a cool card. I think I bought it for 30, sold it for 60. Carlos Beltran, I think I broke even. I don't know. That card is extremely condition sensitive. It should be selling for more in a PSA 10. I think I bought it for 160 and sold it 165, so not a big one there. Ray Lewis, that one I made good profit on. Probably only into it $20 with grading fee. More, that Blastoise Pokemon is a really cool card. It's an SIR. Jordan, Electrified. That Lamar was a good sale. Sold it before, they lost, so it's a nice one. More Pokemons. Eli Manning. Kevin O'Connell, I bought a lot of his Contenders autos. He's the coach for the Vikings. I bought a lot of them for $5 each on ComC and selling them for 20 when the Vikings are playing so well. Julio Jones. Olympics PSA 10. Baron Davis. I like the look of these bright lights inserts. The Edgerrin James. They're pretty condition sensitive, but I've had a few gem. Another sketch card from the Walking Dead character. Really cool card. More Pokemon. More bright lights. LeBron, I love that card. It's a short print. It's the first pitch. It just had a little bit of a whitening on a corner. I thought it would grade an 8, so I just figured I'd sell it raw. Probably bought it for around 35. Sold it for 55. We got some Charizards. The Sam Darnold was a great sale for me. I think I bought it raw for around 190, graded it, got a 10, and sold it for that. I think it was all of that, 467 win, the Vikings, before they lost. So, nice sale there. Charizard, Shake Milton, I think that sold after he moved to the Lakers. I don't even think the Lakers are really using him. Some more Pokemon, some Wayman Tisdale, got a 9. Ed Reed, it's a cool card. It was just sitting in my store for probably 3 years. I think I sold it for around 135, maybe 130. I think I had that card in an old collection, so I'm into it. Only grading fee, so $20. Some LeBron, some Pokemons, Lamar Jackson. I think I bought that for $250 and sold it for that, so not much profit there. Pokemon, we got a LeBron, some Ichiro, Jordan 10. Just some fun cards. The Stafford sold that before the Rams lost. Got Strike While Iron's Hot. Some more Pokemon, some Tom Brady, Edgerrin James, Pokemon. We are almost through. It looks like we're almost getting to Christmas. Some Roger Clemens. The Manu was a cool one. I probably should have held off for a little more. Maybe sold it for around 60. It's just a really cool card. Caitlin Clark Raw. Bobby Wagner is really only into that, about $20. Dylan Brooks, fine. I'm fine selling Dylan Brooks cards. I'm not a fan. Still not a fan. Even when we went to University of Oregon. I just don't like his attitude. But I think I bought it for 25 and sold it for 40, for 50 or something. That Mew card is really skyrocketing right now. Tony Gwynn and more Reggie Whites. Yeah, looks like we're at around Christmas. Some Pokemon. Some Oral, Hershiser, Jokic, Lamar. The Madison Bumgarner was a nice one. That's a DC Sports pickup. I think I bought it raw for 15, graded it, and got a 10. There's more Kevin O'Connell purchases, sales, more Pokemon. Von Miller is playing great for the Bills. Someone brought that Joe Flacco. Yes, it's probably when he was second stint as starter for the Colts. He was doing okay, maybe. We got some Tony Gwynn. That one got a 9. I was only into that $20, which is the grading fee, pretty much. Some Ripken, Joe Flacco, Jerry Rice. Yeah, some Charizard. Charles Sprewell. There you go. I think that's right around where we're going to stop. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this video, learned a little bit, and I'll be back with hopefully reveals. PSA just needs to get going. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for watching my content.